You finally retired, but you may have felt the alarming truth. When the paycheck stops, the purpose often stops too.
And if that line hits a little close to home, believe me, you are not alone. This isn't just some passing feeling. It's something that happens to so many of us, and it can be a real shock to the system. It's that quiet, nagging sense of aimlessness, an emotional weight that can settle in when the entire structure of our professional lives just disappears. This void has a name. It's called the purpose vacuum. And over the next few minutes, we're going to unpack exactly what it is, why it happens, and most importantly, we'll walk through a clear, deliberate strategy to fill it back up.
So, here's how we're going to break this all down. First, we'll define this purpose vacuum. Then, we'll look at why losing your life script can feel so disorienting. From there, we'll reframe purpose as your new, most important job. After that, I'll lay out a really practical 3-step action plan. We'll also talk about the powerful mindset you need for the long game, and we'll wrap up with a gentle challenge to get you started right away. It's a clear roadmap from understanding the problem to actually building your solution.
Okay, let's dive right into part 1, the purpose vacuum. This is all about putting a name to that unspoken stress, that feeling that something major is missing now that the 9-to-5 is over. It's a feeling that was always just there, and now it's not.
Now let's be really clear about this definition. This isn't about being bored or just not having enough to do. It's so much deeper. This is about the loss of a mission. You know, for decades, your mission was clear. Get up, go to work, do your job, contribute, provide. That mission, even on the bad days, was a powerful psychological anchor. When that's suddenly gone, we can feel completely adrift. And that exact feeling of aimlessness is what creates the stress. It is a genuine void where a huge pillar of your life used to stand.
Which of course leads to the big question. So why does this happen? Why does the end of a long career, something we dream about for years, end up creating this profound sense of loss for so many people? Well, the answer has less to do with the actual work we did, and everything to do with what we lose when the job goes away.
And that answer is right here in our next section. We call it Losing Your Life Script. This is where we get into the nuts and bolts of what's really changing in your brain during this massive life transition. For 40, maybe 50 years, most of us have been following a kind of unwritten script. And now, all of a sudden, the script is over.
And this really just lays it all out, doesn't it? On the left, you've got your career life. It came with a clear structure, you knew where to be and when. It gave you a professional identity. I'm a nurse, I'm a carpenter. It was a shortcut for who you were. It provided a built-in peer network, right? A community. And it gave you daily goals and that external validation, a finished project, a good review. And then, on the right, poof, all of that is replaced. You've got unstructured time, a potential identity void, the risk of social isolation, and a sudden lack of that external feedback that, let's be honest, we all get used to.
And here's the thing, all that unstructured time, it actually comes with some real risks. Our brains are wired to solve problems. They need goals and structure to really thrive. Without that, you risk mental stagnation. Social isolation can creep in fast when that work community is gone. And this next one is so important. Passive leisure, like binge watching TV for hours on end, it just doesn't work. It's like the junk food of retirement. It fills time, but it doesn't nourish you. It doesn't give you that internal feeling of accomplishment that your brain has relied on for decades.
Okay, so that's the problem. It's real, it's psychological, it's a big deal. But now, we're gonna make a hard pivot. Let's talk about the solution. This next part, this is the single most important lesson for building a truly fulfilling life after your career ends. It's all about shifting from a mindset of passive hope to one of active, intentional design.
This is it. This is the phrase to write down. Purpose is the new job description. This is the principle that changes absolutely everything. It means you don't just hope to stumble into a happy retirement, you design it. You take on the job of creating purpose with the same seriousness you brought to your career. It's an active pursuit. You're now the CEO of your own well-being.
So, what does this new job actually look like? Well, it usually flows down one of two main paths: contribution or mastery. Contribution is all about sharing the incredible wisdom you've gained. You could mentor a young person, volunteer for a cause you love, or teach a class. Mastery, on the other hand, is all about your own growth. Finally learning to play the guitar, studying French, or even getting a certification in something that just fascinates you. Both of these paths are incredibly powerful because they reinforce your competence and your relevance, which is the perfect antidote to feeling aimless.
And here's the science behind why this works so well.
An intentional, scheduled mission, whether it's contribution or mastery, becomes your new psychological anchor. It's that stable point in your week that calms you down and, most importantly, reinforces your self-efficacy. And that's just a fancy term for your belief in your own ability to get things done. Every time you help a mentee or you nail a new song on the piano, you're rebuilding that sense of capability that your job used to provide. Only this time, you're building it entirely for yourself.
All right, so we get the principle, but how do we actually put this into action? Let's get practical. This next section is your simple 3-set action plan to apply this whole concept safely and effectively in your own life. This is where the rubber meets the road. The strategy is really straightforward. First, the audit. This is where we figure out what actually lights you up. Second, the rule. This is the mandatory appointment rule, which is how we turn a good idea into real action. And third, the support, because using social connection is a fantastic way to stay accountable and make the whole thing more enjoyable.
Now, let's zoom in on that word non-negotiable. This is the core of the mandatory appointment rule. You have to literally schedule time in your calendar for your new mission. Let's say it's every Wednesday from 9 to 10 a.m. to work on your family history project. You have to treat that block of time with the same respect you'd give a doctor's appointment. You wouldn't just blow that off, right? Well, don't blow this off either. It sends a powerful message to your brain that this is important. This is a priority.
Now, following through on all this, it does require a certain perspective. So let's shift gears and talk about the mindset you need for the long game. This is about understanding the really cool relationship between discipline, freedom, and the wisdom you already possess. This might sound like a total paradox, but it is one of the deepest truths of a well-lived life. See, the endless, unstructured freedom of retirement can actually feel like a prison of aimlessness. But the discipline of a scheduled mission, that 1 hour of volunteering, that morning of painting, that is the very structure that allows you to truly enjoy all the rest of your time. It provides the anchor, and that gives you freedom from anxiety and the liberty to be present and fulfilled.
So what you're really doing when you take these steps is you're consciously engineering your own well-being. You are intentionally breaking that negative feedback loop where feeling aimless makes you feel down, which then kills your motivation. Instead, you're building a positive feedback loop. Taking a small action gives you a little hit of accomplishment, which boosts your sense of purpose, which then motivates you to do even more. You're using your wisdom to create a system for your own happiness.
And that brings us to our final section. We've defined the problem, we've explored the solution, we've laid out the plan. Now it's time to bring it all home and issue a gentle challenge to help you start this journey today.
If you only remember one thing from our time together, please let it be this. The purpose vacuum is not a myth. It is a real psychological hurdle. And the solution isn't just to stay busy and hope for the best. The only proven way to fill that void is with a scheduled, non-negotiable mission that is rooted in something that actually matters to you. As we look back, it all becomes so clear, right? The anxiety that so many of us feel after retirement isn't a sign that we've done something wrong. It's just a signal that the old structure is gone and it's time to build a new one. And the most helpful tool you have is creating that weekly mission in one of two areas. Contribution, where you share your wisdom, or mastery, where you challenge yourself to grow. By defining this new mission, you are actively choosing years of engagement, of mental sharpness, and of true deep fulfillment. So before you move on with your day, let this simple question be your guide. Pull up your calendar for this week. Find one empty hour, just one. What is the first hour you are going to schedule for yourself? Will it be to research volunteer spots, to watch that first online coding tutorial, to just sit down and outline that book you've always wanted to write? Whatever it is, put it on the calendar right now. That single, simple act is your first step out of the vacuum and into your new purpose.